I told myself that I wasn't going to make monthly TBRs anymore. That's kind of a chaotic way of living. Hello beautiful people of the internet, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and I'm so excited that you joined me today. Today we're going to talk all things February. We're going to talk about all the books that I want to try and get to in the month of February. I told myself that I wasn't going to make monthly TBRs anymore, but I think that's really unrealistic because I'm a huge mood reader. I just pull things off my shelf as I feel them. That's kind of a chaotic way of living, and as a type A, it's kind of driving me crazy. So I think I'm going to set monthly TBRs, but I'm not going to be super strict with them. I'm going to put books on here that I know I have to get to, as far as like books for book clubs, readathons, and so on and so forth. But for setting a strict TBR of books that I have to get to, that's probably not going to happen for me. This list is a list of books that I would like to get to, or books that I am feeling right now. February is usually a huge romance mood for me. I usually gravitate more towards romances in the month of February, so that's basically what I have on here. Besides a couple of outliers, I have a cozy mystery on here, a couple thrillers. Let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so let's go ahead and discuss all the books that I have for book clubs and for readathons. So I'm going to get those out of the way first. So the very first book that I need to get to this month and really want to is The Clinic by Kate Quinn. This is a brand new release and I could not be more eager to dive into this book. This book is the February pick for my friend Jessie's book club, Sleep When I'm Dead. This book is basically about a remote rehab clinic. Obviously something is going on here, and a woman goes missing, or she ends up dead or something like that, and then her sister checks herself into this rehab clinic to try and figure out what really happened to her sister. Not only am I excited to join in on the discussion for Jessie's book club, but I'm also just eager to get into this one. Speaking of my friend Jessie, she is also hosting a really cute readathon this month that's called the X's and O's Readathon. She hosted this same readathon last year, and I also participated last year and had such a great time. I will leave all the information down below on this readathon if you would like to check it out. But basically for this readathon, Jessie has given us different teams, X's, O's, or double agent. Each team gets their own bingo board or prompts that you have to follow for the readathon. So I personally really like the O's team bingo board a little bit better, so I do think that I'm going to go with the team O. So the first prompt that I have to follow for team O is pink on the cover, and for that I have chosen Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I have been needing to get to this book anyways, and what better way than to join in on a readathon. I just adore Sarah Adams in general, and her romances are just so stinking sweet. They're clean, they're fluffy, they're really fast-paced, and you cannot go wrong with the Sarah Adams. This one is following two characters that we met in the first book, When in Rome. Annie owns a flower shop, and Will is a grumpy bodyguard. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a good time. I have also decided to use this same book for the next prompt, which is a romantic comedy. Next prompt is to pick a book with flowers on the cover, and for that prompt I have decided to go with Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is a series that I have heard nothing but good things about. This is the Chestnut Spring series, and this is book 1. All I know about this one is that it follows a bunch of professional riders or cowboys or something like that in a small town, and I am here for the cowboy romances. And this last prompt I thought was a super fun idea. So they told you to go to your second shelf and pick the 14th book, because February is the second month and the 14th is Valentine's Day. And so if I do that, unfortunately, the book is not a romance, but it is one that I've been meaning to get to, and it's Red. Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is book number 2 of the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I stopped at Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I didn't love Good Girls Guide to Murder. I definitely didn't love it as much as most people did, and I definitely didn't love it enough to continue with the series right off the bat. That being said, I do want to finish this series. Basically, this is a YA series that is following a young girl as she goes around her town investigating these cold cases and trying to solve them. I really did like the characters in here. I did like the little romance that was going on, so we'll see what the second book holds. These next two I do not actually own physically because they have not come out yet. This first one is Till There Was You by Lindsay Hammeroff. This looks so stinking cute. Look at this cover. They're standing on a stack of blueberry pancakes. Are you kidding me? So basically, this one follows our main character who dreams of being a Michelin star chef. She's huge into cooking, and she meets this guy named Jake. Well, Jake becomes like an overnight sensation, and he's a huge musician, and she really doesn't think that she's ever going to see Jake again. And she figures out that he goes huge based off a song he wrote about her famous blueberry pancake recipe. That is such a unique idea, and I have not heard of any other romance taking on something like that, and I am so excited for this one. This next one also comes out in February, and it is The Teacher by Frida McFadden. I am excited about this one for obvious reasons, but I love Frida McFadden's thrillers. I think they're very fast-paced. I think they're easily bingeable, and they're just a good time. This one is about a teacher who finds that one of her students is actually part of a huge scandal, and I believe somebody turns up missing. I'm not sure. Honestly, Frida McFadden's thrillers are so much better if you go in blind, so that's what I plan to do for this one. I cannot help myself. I cannot stay away from this series. The next book I'm hoping to pick up in February, not hoping to, I will pick this up in February, and that is Allin by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is book number 3 in the Naturals series that she writes. This is a YA Criminal Minds. It's about a girl that can basically read people and understand why they do what they do. And she's taken by the FBI, willingly, of course, and she joined this program where these teens solve these cold cases. This is addicting. You want to know more. You want to go into the next book almost immediately. I found in January, I read the first 2 books, and what I was finding is when I was reading something else, I was thinking about these characters. I was wanting to revisit this world. That is when you know a series is good. Next is a series that I'm hoping to finish up this month, and that is Empty Smiles by Catherine Arden. This is the last book of the Small Spaces series. This is a middle grade series about a group of friends that go on these adventures, and they find themselves in lots of different situations that may or may not be deadly. I'm so excited about this one because I think that it takes place at a carnival where some kid goes missing or something goes down. All I know is that this series is so super fun and it's super bingeable, and I cannot wait to bring the series to an end. This next one is yet another series that I'm trying to wrap up this month. Can you tell I'm working on that? I actually made a whole video about all the series that I'm trying to wrap up in 2024. If you would like to watch that, I'll leave the link up here. This next one is the Vine Mess series by Tessa Bailey. The second and the last book is Unfortunately Yours. I believe this duology follows a brother-sister or a sister-sister. I cannot remember. I believe she is the sister of the male character in the first book. Now, I didn't really care for the first book. I'm just gonna be honest. That female main character got on my nerves, but I hear that this one's much better than the first one. And I do like Tessa Bailey. I do like her writing, and I do like her characters most of the time. I will say that there's been a couple that I did not like. But I did end up meeting Tessa Bailey for specifically this release, and it is signed. So I would like to eventually get to this one, and I'm hoping I can get it done in February. Next is another romance, and that is Set on You by Amy Lee. This is yet another series that I'm trying to finish this year. This is part of the Influencer series, and each book follows some sort of influencer. Book 2, which is called X's and O's, I actually read that for Jessie's readathon last year, and that one follows a booktuber, which I thought was really fun. I believe this one follows a fitness influencer, and she meets this guy at the gym, and he's super grumpy, and he's supposed to be like Chris Evans. And honestly, my friends, that's all I need to know. Moving on. Next is Checkmate by Allie Hazelwood. This is actually her first YA novel, and I'm really kind of anxious going into this one because I love her adult novels, except for Love Theoretically. That one was not for me, but I really, really love The Love Hypothesis. So it's going to be really bizarre going into a YA book by her, but I do have high hopes for it. So basically this one follows our main character, Mallory, and Mallory hates chess. She's so done with it. And then one day she just decides to play, and she plays this guy named Nolan, and she beats him. Well, the problem with that is that Nolan is a world famous chess player, and I'm assuming some enemies to lovers goes down. Next is actually a cozy mystery that I would like to get to this month. I am going to make it a goal to at least read one cozy mystery per month, because you guys can't see it, but I have a ton of cozy mysteries up there on that top shelf. They're stacked super high, and I need to get more cozy mysteries and incorporate more cozy mysteries into my reading routine. So this one is called No Parm, No Foul by Linda Riley. This is book number 2 in the Grilled Cheese Mystery series. This follows Up to No Gouda, which is my favorite cozy mystery that I've read thus far. I absolutely adored that book. So this series follows our main character, Carly, and Carly owns a grilled cheese shop. Let that sink in for a minute. If you do not like grilled cheese, do not read these books, because I'm telling you, every other page you're going to be wanting, so desperately wanting, a grilled cheese. Last romance I want to get to in the month of February is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. So many people have recommended Abby Jimenez to me. I have heard fantastic things about Abby Jimenez. All of her books, not just this one. I have heard that this is people's favorite, but everybody just talks about her writing, and I feel like I'm missing out. So I no longer want to be missing out in the month of February. Next is kind of a book that might be a little bit out of my cover zone, and that is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Guys, I have heard fantastic things about this book, and the one thing that has intrigued me about this book is that people are comparing it to the Hunger Games, and anything remotely close to the Hunger Games, I'm there in the front seat. If this is as high stakes as the Hunger Games is, I am completely and utterly here for it. This was actually a gift from my sweet friend Corinna, and the second book is coming out very soon, so I would like to get caught up before the second book releases. And last but certainly not least is The Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. This is Harry Potter's third book, and I am so incredibly excited to dive right into this one. In January, I started reading this series. Yes, this is my very first time reading this series as an adult, so I'm reading this with fresh eyes, fresh mind, and I'm so excited to see where it goes. And there you have it, my friends. Those are all the books that I'm hoping to get to in the month of February. Am I going to get to all of them? No. I had a lot of time off in January because of snow and ice, so I got a lot of reading done in January, but February, I don't know if that will be similar. So if I can just get to most of these, we'll be good. If you made it this far into the video, please leave me a heart emoji of any sort for obvious reasons. Thank you guys so much for sticking around with me and watching this video. Just know one thing, my friends, and that is you are loved. Not just in the month of February either. All year round. And I will see you on my next video. Bye, friends!